Dear students, welcome to e-PG Pathshala and e-content program of National Mission on Education under ICT. I am Professor Seva Singh, former head Department of Library and Information Science, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. Today I will speak about the module Information Intermediaries, their functions and types. This module forms part of the paper on information sources, systems and services. In the present information age, information has been a key factor in not only transforming society but the pattern of operation of society. The newly emerging economies around the world have been changing and depending more and more on information technology. People are seeking information increasingly for decision making, understanding world politics, knowing about the economic situations, gaining knowledge about social forces, development of technology, and so on. But the problem of information glut, growing in volume, multiple formats, subjects, adding to complexities of access to information. It is here that need for human agency in the form of experts called information intermediaries arises. Information intermediaries would collect, search, filter, process and deliver relevant information to the needy users. An intermediary is usually a third person or third party that offers intermediation between two parties. In this case, the two parties are recipient of information, that is users, and providers of information, that is generator of information. The intermediary acts as a conduit for services offered by producers to users. Typically, intermediary offers some added value to the transaction that may not be possible in direct dealing. On the other hand, an information mediator is usually a person who serves as a link or a bridge or a middleman between the producers and users of information. The role of information intermediary becomes very important in this context, as he is to satisfy the information needs of his customers. So once we know as to who information intermediaries are, we should also try to know about the characteristics of these people. Some of the characteristics are to satisfy the requirements of consumers and producers of information, to transfer the products and services between the producers and consumers of information, to possess adequate knowledge of the information sources and their usefulness, to have knowledge of technical aspects of information transfer from one end to the other. To have knowledge of the subject or subjects in which they intend to work. To develop awareness of the user's characteristics and the environment under which the users operate. To have knowledge of internet sources and services. To possess effective communication skills, as this is very important, essential in communicating the information obtained from producers onto the users. To have knowledge and skills for information retrieval from various sources and other search techniques so that precise and relevant information could be retrieved and provided to the users. To have adequate mental capability to analyze and interpret users' needs for information. Once we know this, we also need to know the functions which the information intermediaries would perform. The first function they perform is searching data and information. Information intermediary is required to search data and information from various sources on the basis of user needs. Another function is analyzing data and information. Data and information need to be analyzed for abstracting work, consolidating information, summarizing material written earlier, and so on. Disseminating information is another function. He is to deliver the needed information in required form and format for which he can repackage information, prepare state-of-the-art reports, design and develop reviews, etc. Another function is maintaining contact with information providers. Information intermediary is required to maintain liaison with producers and providers of information to keep up to date. Conducting research in user needs is another function. Information intermediary can do it through user studies, etc., to find solutions to the problems of the user community. Gathering material from various sources is yet another function. Information intermediary has the responsibility of collecting requisite material from as many sources as possible and prepare brief notes about them in the form of, say, informative abstracts, and then deliver these notes about useful information to the users. Handling inquiries from media, organizations, etc. is another function which the information intermediaries perform, because so many queries are received from media and other organizations, even public at large, regarding the provision of information on various topics, and after handling them, providing them with adequate answers. Spreading information through a variety of media is another function. They must take up upon them to spread the information through a variety of media so as to reach a large number of users, developing a range of publications. This is another function performed by information intermediaries. They must develop and expand the range of various types of publications based on variety of information for specialized markets. So this is very important because if the range of various information sources is expanded and developed, obviously they will be able to fulfill the needs of information users in a much effective way. If we look at various types of information intermediaries, two major types come to the mind immediately. One, profit-making information intermediaries who charge fees. Two, non-profit-making information intermediaries who do not charge fee for their services. Let us discuss about these two types of information intermediaries. As far as profit-making information intermediaries are concerned, they provide information after charging some payment. For example, information brokers, they generally charge a fee for their services, such as providing information, and these information brokers are of two types: independent brokers who work independently, and institutional brokers where the institution takes up the job on themselves. Second is information consultants. It's a group of individuals or a firm that delivers requested information, provide solution to a problem, and so on. So they are consulted by various users of information to get a solution to their social or economic, technological or industrial, etc. problem. Third type of profit-making intermediaries is online vendors. They maintain database and markets and sell material and or services to an individual or organization. They are available online 24/7, and this is an advantage to the user, that the user can access them anytime, anywhere, and obtain requisite information from online vendors. Non-profit making information intermediaries include such as technological gatekeepers. They are experts and professionals both inside and outside organization and serve as conduit for new technical data. Their role in the internet has further grown up. Another type is information officers or librarians or reference librarians. They offer services to meet information needs of their users. They provide indexing and abstracting services, current awareness services, selective dissemination of information type services, online information services, etc. Information filters is another type of non-profit making information intermediaries. These are new and more skilled information intermediaries in view of change in nature of collection in libraries, development of computerized databases, etc. They will filter information from the vast array of references and bring only relevant sources to the notice of users. Invisible colleges is another type of non-profit making information intermediaries. It's a community of scientific researchers working within a specific field of study where informal personal contact is made for communication. Now it is done through email, which is a popular invisible college of present times. Extension workers. They play key role in transferring agriculture-related information in rural areas. They also provide significant information regarding the improved seeds, manure, fertilizers, type of soil, how to market, etc., how to market their products, etc., to the farming community. Expert systems is yet another type of non-profit making information intermediaries. This category of information intermediaries has been recently developed and it has become popular very quickly in the present information age. Information brokers. An information broker deals with specific questions and problems relating to information. Usually, they deal with problems by providing the required information to answer such questions from their users that may help solve their specific information needs. In response to these questions, the information broker would usually prepare a list of citations of documents or the actual information that may help the user to find answers to the problem. An information consultant may be a group of individuals or a firm which may further employ one or more information brokers or specialists in information related fields. In the words of William Carts, information consultant not only validates but also evaluates the information. Technological gatekeepers are expert in both internal and external communication, having much higher frequency of exposure to the professional literature, attending more conferences and more professional affiliations. Functions of technological gatekeepers include acquisition of material, acquisition of information, translation and dissemination of information. Technological gatekeepers usually repackage the external information for internal use by researchers in a format that is convenient to them. Role of technological gatekeepers in internet era has assumed much more importance. Information filters. Filters help define a search and determine which possibilities the librarian will present to the user in response to a query. These intermediaries can use both manual and electronic method for the filtering process so as to focus only on the relevant information citations. While searching computerized databases and websites, information filters can make use of filters to restrict, delimit, or even block such information as is found irrelevant for the potential users. Invisible colleges. The concept of invisible college is not very recent. It has been described as a precursor group to the Royal Society of London, consisting of a number of natural philosophers who would share their ideas among themselves. The concept of invisible college refers to a community of scientific researchers who are working within a specific field of study that has some core issues in common. It is the name applied by some philosophers, sociologists, and historians of science to loose-knit but intercommunicating scientific research groups operating within a paradigm. Extension workers. As information intermediaries, extension workers play a key role, particularly in rural areas. In most cases, they help in transferring information related to agriculture activities. Extension workers include agriculture agents, farm management advisors, extension service advisors, home economists, etc. So this way, extension workers perform several functions to transmit information. An expert system is a group of computer programs along with knowledge, information, and database which act together to simulate the problem-solving and decision-making processes of a human expert within a relatively narrow domain. The aim of expert system has been to augment the expertise of the intermediary of information retrieval. In this way, they will become quite useful for online searching by removing information bottlenecks, etc. So, this way, dear students, we have tried to explain to you various types of information intermediaries which are operating in library and information system as a whole, their functions, the jobs they perform to transmit information to the users from the information producers. This module discusses about the implications of all-round information explosion restricting the access of scientists, researchers, etc. to the required information. It has brought a new group called information intermediaries who would serve as link between the producers and users of information. This module describes the characteristics and functions of information intermediaries, and it highlights the need and functions of various types of information intermediaries so that the right information reaches in the right hands for the right use to be made by them and to obtain the desired benefits. Thank you very much, dear students.